Rutledge College is the first campus building that was constructed at South Carolina College. It was completed in 1805, which is when the school opened. It originally housed pretty much everything: faculty housing, student housing, offices, classroom, laboratory spaces, etc., because it was the only building on campus. When the school opened in 1805, there were 2 faculty members and 9 students in one building. Rutledge went through a major renovation and rebuilding in sections due to a fire, and in the 1950s had a renovation done in the chapel, which was helped financed by then USC President Donald Russell. Rutledge was also the site of the normal school during the Reconstruction era, when the University of South Carolina was the only state-supported Southern university to be fully integrated. And during that time, a state normal school, or school of education, was held for African Americans, and it was held in Rutledge, although it was not part of the university's curriculum. So we do have a photograph of the students and one of the faculty members sitting on the steps of Rutledge, and the student body was predominantly African American, and the normal school was actually predominantly female at the time. We'll walk down this way towards the president's house.
I think the camera's studying the screens.
The President's House is actually the second building that has been on this site. The original structure, built in 1810, was a faculty duplex. South Carolina College provided housing for its faculty members. That building was destroyed by fire in the 1850s, and this structure replaced it, again, as a faculty duplex. It served as that until the 1940s, and then some various things were put in there, including one of the sororities on campus. And then in 1952, Donald Russell was elected president of the university. Mr. Russell helped finance the restoration of this and renovation of this structure into the President's House, the residence. Now, the original President's House had been at the head of the Horseshoe, and it was one of the earliest buildings constructed. By the 1920s, it was in a severe state of disrepair, and the president did not live on campus from the 1920s up into the 1950s. And in fact, the president's house was destroyed, or was demolished, around 1940, after McKissick Museum was built behind it. There have been many illustrious dignitaries that have visited the president's house, including Pope John Paul II, who visited here on September 11th, 1987, during the university's special ecumenical year, in which a variety of world religious leaders were invited to speak and have special functions at the university. Shot of the 1931 in the sidewalk. As you walk across the Horseshoe sidewalks, you'll see white bricks forming letters in this date, 1931, and that is the result of a student project. Before 1931, there were no sidewalks in the Horseshoe. It was just dirt paths. And so when it rained a lot, the students ended up having to slog through the mud just to get to class. They got tired of this, but the state legislature would not appropriate funds to put sidewalks on the Horseshoe. So one of the most beloved professors in Carolina history, Havilah Babcock, the English professor, helped organize the students and the organizations, and they made contact with Richland Shale, which became Rich Tex Bricks, a local brick company. They raised funds, and again, this is during a depression in South Carolina, in the nation, where they raised funds to purchase bricks, to get brick masons in here. The company ended up donating some bricks as well and loaned its brick masons so that they could train and supervise the students, and the students laid the bricks themselves.
Wow.
They're the ones who came out. It was an excused absence from class. You came out and you helped lay the bricks for the sidewalks. So the date commemorates the completion of these main sidewalks. The letters are the initials of H.B. Havilah Babcock and George A. Walkup, also a very popular faculty member. And the other letters are the student organizations that participated. There's another set of initials that are not in white letters, and I'll show those to you. They have a very special story behind them, and we'll take a look at those in a little while. We're on the other side of the Horseshoe. We're in front of Legree College now, and Pinckney connects to it down that way. Legree is mirrored across the way by Harper, and Pinckney is mirrored by Elliott. Pinckney and Elliott were built in 1837. Legree and Harper in 1848. They were student dormitories, offices, classrooms, etc. Legree and Harper are special to note because of the prominent role that the student organizations played on campus, the literary societies, the Clariosophic and Euphrates literary societies. They were so important on campus that when the plans were drawn up for Legree and Harper, each of the literary societies were given their own halls. They were built into the colleges, into the buildings, and they're still there. They include these large three-tiered podiums that are actually built into the wall, so you can't do anything with that wall. There is a university office in the Clariosophic Hall, which is on the third floor of Legree, and the Euphratean Society was on the third floor of Harper. That room was restored in the 70s and 1970s and 80s, and it serves as a meeting place now.
Nice.
One other thing about Legree that's interesting is that, as I mentioned before, during Reconstruction, the university was the only state-supported Southern university to be fully integrated. The majority of the student body was African American. This is from 1873 to 1877. Most of those students lived in Legree College. We have some documentation that shows what rooms they were in and where they ate in Columbia and that sort of thing. So it's a really nice glimpse into the lives of those African American students when there's so few pieces to pull together to tell their story of the time here in college. So now we know that Legree was a major center for those students.
Cool. And of course, Havilah Babcock being